So today's practice is a somatic unlocking practice, and we utilize both meditative inquiry and focus, and then also breath. And so I invite you to do this practice laying down if you're able to. If you need to sit, that's okay too. But when we lay down, we can really connect in with the different areas of the body. And we're going to be moving up the front of the body and placing hand on the body to help focus our attention on different areas of the body while we practice this somatic unlocking. So find your comfortable posture of practice. Again, either laying down or seated. And then as you move or shift into that posture, create equal weightedness on both sides of the body. So move and shift your body until it feels like there's a balance in weight on both sides. So you might need to move or shift your hips. You might need to roll your shoulders back, and definitely open up the hands or the feet, especially if you tend towards crossing. You want to create an open posture. And take a few moments to provide comfort and stability and support for yourself. Starting already the process of turning inwards by tending to these subtle needs, these desires of the body for rest and comfort and support. And either closing the eyes or softening the gaze to begin that shift, that turn inwards. And find yourself arriving, landing here in this body, in this moment. And notice what is present here. Notice how you are feeling in this moment. Notice any sensations. Notice any emotions. Notice any persistent thoughts. So welcome it all in. Allow these experiences, this part of who you are in this moment, to be part of practice. And in your laying posture, really see if you can surrender your weight fully down into the earth. So be so generous with your weight. And notice how your generosity, giving yourself fully to the earth below, allows the earth, allows that support, that stability to rise up to meet you, to hold you more securely, to create more stability. Good. And now I invite you to place a hand on your lower belly, so all the way down the top of your pelvis. This is where we're going to begin our practice. And so it's really nice to use a hand to help anchor, to help focus and bring awareness to the area. So this is below your belly button, down in your upper pelvis, so your lower belly. And just place a hand there, and it can be hand on hand, whatever feels good for you. And I invite you to start to breathe intentionally into your hand. So breathing in through the nose, start to expand into that space, pressing against your hand. And then as you exhale, simply soften, release, let go. And just notice what's present there for you. So as you breathe in, notice if there's only any holding, any tension, any restrictions. This might be physical holding, it might be mental or emotional, so you can also notice what's coming up in the mind. And sometimes we'll find discomfort that we didn't know existed. We might notice that the breath is a little bit more shallow in certain areas. So keep breathing in, expanding the breath with every inhale. Exhale to soften and release. And the invitation is to stay here for as long as you need. So when you're practicing this on your own, when not being guided, I invite you to really take your time with any areas that feel stuck or as though they need a little bit more attention. Just another breath or two here. And then with your hand placed on your lower belly, I invite you to take another hand, so one hand resting there, the other hand just rises up above it, so landing above your lower belly. So perhaps you're now over top of your belly button. And then release the first hand, maybe place it over top. And so we're moving up the front of the body slightly, one hand at a time, ensuring that we don't miss anything, that we don't skip over. And start to breathe into this space. So again, in through the nose, and expanding to fill. Just start by practicing, by allowing the breath to show you what is present for you. And get so curious about the experience. So notice if there's any holding, any tension. And again, notice if there's any emotion or thought present. And let's keep with this experience, keep with this focus of breath. And we stay with it until there is a release. And believe me, it will come. If you spend enough time, it will come. And you'll notice the release because there's a softening of the body. There's a release that happens viscerally. So there will literally be a softening or a letting go of muscles. Or you might even notice something releases within that area. It could feel like warmth or tingling, perhaps an opening or movement. So allow your focus and your breath to help support this releasing, this somatic unlocking. Allow your breath to be the key. And again, stay with this as long as feels good to you. If you're ready to move to the next area, place the hand that's on top, one hand above, the one resting over your belly button. Maybe now this is lower ribs. And then release your lower hand and place over top. Breathe into this area. Focus your awareness there. Become so curious about this area of your body. Is there free movement? Does it expand easily? Or is there constriction or tightness? Is there holding of any kind? Is there stagnation or blocks? Allow the breath and your attention to show you what is present. And breathe with it. So utilize the breath to expand. Set the intention to unlock or release any stored tension. So every inhale is an expansion, every exhale is a softening, a surrender, a release. And just notice what shows up. So notice thoughts, emotions, physical experience as you continue this process, as the energy starts to move more freely within the body. A couple more breaths here. Good. And now place the hand that's on top, one above. So maybe we're now on the heart space. And then release the hand that's below and place on top of the other. And now focus your attention here. And then begin to breathe. So inhaling and expanding into your hands. Expanding and allowing the body to really feel the spaciousness, that energetic possibility that is provided by the breath. Inhale through the nose and expand into your hands. And again, notice any holding, any tension, pain, discomfort, emotion, thought, feeling. And when we notice, we do so without judgment. We do so with compassion and kindness. Curiosity about what is present and the recognition that we have these tools, these abilities to really tap into this experience and to release what no longer serves. So again, keep breathing until there is a release. So again, it might be a release of your muscles. It might be warmth or tingling, spaciousness that opens up beneath your hands. You will know when you feel it. Maybe it's a shift in emotion or feeling, or the thoughts begin to drift away. Good. And one more movement of your hand. So the hand that's on top, place it above. And so now we're likely up in the collarbone area. Place your other hand on top of that and focus attention here. So as you breathe in, breathe into your hands. Focus your attention and focus the flow of energy that moves into your body with the breath. So again, notice any holding, any tension, any emotion or thought that's present. And set the intention with your breath to unlock, to release, to allow energy to flow once again in the body. Another way that we experience release is through a big sigh or a yawn. Again, remembering that when you're practicing on your own afterwards, you can stay as long as you'd like. Really give yourself up to the experience of release, of surrender. And so now the invitation is perhaps one last spot if it feels good to you. So you can go back to any of the places in the body that we just laid hands on, or if there's another area, perhaps in your head or leg or arm, you can place a hand there and focus attention there. And while we might not feel the same physical expansion that comes with the breath and the movement of the lungs, feel that energetic expansion. So focus your breath where your hand is resting. Allow the attention and intention of surrender to guide the breath to this area, to help to release in a very physical way any stored tension, anything that is holding or creating restriction within the physical and energetic body. Again, stay with this for as long as feels good to you. Good. Now release the breath rhythm and return to a natural breath. So allow your breath to be free and easy. And just feel into what you're experiencing now. Feel into the easy flow and movement of energy within the body. Notice how this has shifted from the beginning of practice to now. What has changed? Good. And now place both hands on heart as we tune into the energy of gratitude and thankfulness. Appreciation that we've shown up in practice today and that we have this beautiful opportunity to connect with others in a very powerful way. When we set intention and we use our attention, it creates this beautiful possibility of connection, understanding that we are part of something so much bigger. Let's take 3 deep breaths together. So inhale through the nose, exhale with a sigh, let it go. 2 more, and let it go. 1 more. Good. And again, feeling the weight of your body on the earth. So really allowing yourself to be held and supported and stable. Feeling into the edges of your body. So noticing where your body ends and the world around you begins. Becoming fully embodied, fully present within your body. And start to visualize the space around you, the color, the shapes, the form. And then also visualize your body in space. So gaze upon yourself within the space. Notice the position of your body, the beautiful shapes and colors of you. And then when you're ready, and in your own time, you can blink your eyes open and come back into this space. Starting to really be present with the world of form. And starting to glance around your space. You don't necessarily need to make any big movements just yet. Take in the colors, and the shapes, and the forms, the textures. And allow yourself to slowly come back into this space. And then when you're ready, you can start to make small movements that shift into bigger movements. And then come into a seated posture, so allow yourself to transition into more wakefulness. Let me close the practice here. Thank you so much for practicing with me. And while we are still in this space together, I'll remain here for a couple minutes.